The prophecy was spoken. Forms, we're going to need the scavenger version of Rey is BB-8, Finn, Veteran Han, and Veteran Chewbacca. And today, the prophecy has been proven true. And now it's time to panic.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Now today is kind of a bittersweet day. The sweet part is I was actually 100% right with predicting the Rey's Hero's Journey. If you guys don't know, about a month or so ago when we first got a whiff of Rey's Hero's Journey, I made a preparation guide and man, it blew up, had over 90,000 views or so. And I pretty much laid out everything we're gonna read out today, and I was right. And the bitter part is that I was right. Now, if you guys watched that video, you may recall that in that video, I mentioned that I feel like I'm right and I hope I'm not right. And that all comes down to the requirements for this Rey's Hero's Journey, and more specifically, the requirements for Veteran Han Solo and Veteran Chewbacca. So today, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna read off this forum post and kind of go through all the requirements that have been confirmed and go through the confirmed date as to when this event is going live. So let's go read into it and we'll talk about what my situation is about this whole Rey's Hero's Journey. So the post goes on to say, even the greatest heroes can't save the galaxy alone. Rey will need the help of her newfound friends and allies as she embarks upon a heroic mission in search of the missing Luke Skywalker. A more eclectic band of allies you'd be hard-pressed to find, but their combined strength and cunning can overcome overwhelming odds. And pretty much just as we predicted, we're going to get the Last Jedi version of Rey. She has the Jedi robes on, and as we scroll down a little bit, you will see this version of Rey is just called Rey parentheses Jedi training. So this is not leaking that much. Yes, from the trailers we know she's preparing to be a Jedi, but we still don't know, is she going to be a Jedi in the end or what's going to happen? So they did it in a way where it's not leaking too much about the main story of the movie. So let's go ahead and read what is required, and this is pretty much everything I pointed out in my Rey preparation guide video. So firstly, as we predicted, a 7-star version of all these characters will be needed to fully complete the Rey's Hero's Journey event. The first one, which they did confirm many months ago, so we knew for a while Rey will be needed, the Rey Scavenger version to be more specific, and they were kind enough to tell you exactly where we can farm her, which is Light Side Battles 2A, Dark Side Battles 5D, and 7B. But they also forgot to mention, at least unless they changed something, she could also be found in the guild store with your guild store currency you get from the various raids. Next up on the list, and this is a character that I think a lot of people have. If you guys know, Resistance is a very popular faction, especially Finn Zeta, and you can find his shards on Cantina Battle 3E, 5C, as well as Light Side Battle 7A. So not as hard to farm. You can get him through Cantina, which isn't the hardest thing in the world, and it's on a lower Cantina node. So definitely one of the most accessible characters out of this list we have here. And BB-8, this was a character I've been getting a lot of questions about. When is this event coming out? Oh, is it coming before Rey's Hero's Journey? We didn't know until this very moment, and BB-8 is confirmed to be needed for this event, and the Pieces and Plans special event will be coming back on December 8th and running all the way up through December 16th. So kind of like R2-D2 before Commander Luke Skywalker had his hero's journey, they released R2-D2's event right beforehand. So this is kind of following the same exact pattern. So there we go. BB-8 is needed and his event is coming back. And the hardest part of it all is that we were right about the two veterans. As we see here, it is finally confirmed that Veteran Smuggler Han Solo and Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca are needed, and the problem is both of these two characters are on the highest end of the Cantina table, where it is the most expensive to farm characters. So you might be lucky to get 2, 3, maybe 5 shards a day if all is with you. So this is going to be the biggest struggle for most people out there, and BB-8 is also not an easy character to get because of the fact that one of the First Order characters, a First Order Stormtrooper, is incredibly difficult to farm free to play. And as you see here, if we complete the event, we will unlock the brand new Rey Jedi training version of her at 7 stars. So exactly like the hero's journey for Commander Luke Skywalker that we all talked about in my previous video in Reddit, many avenues, and people predicted this type of structure, and it looks like for the most part we were spot on. Even the time of this release, we were pretty spot on. Here we go. The Rey's Hero's Journey event begins on December 15th in support of the theatrical release of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That's when the movie comes out, to my knowledge, as we said in my previous video, and it looks like the Rey's Jedi training version is coming out at the same time. So you're going to be sitting in the movie theaters, eating that lovely buttery popcorn at the same time, trying to unlock Rey's Jedi training version of her, however the heck you want to call it. So let me go grab my phone over here, and we're gonna find out what my situation is with the Raise Heroes journey, and most likely it's not looking too bright for me, but we're gonna go talk about it and kind of work our way from there. So now we're on my personal account, and this is where I stand with the two veterans. I just got Han Solo to 6 stars the other day, and I'm trying to get Chewbacca to 6 stars as well, and then try to race to the finish for 7 stars towards the end. I'm mainly doing this so hopefully I can knock out the first few events of this Raise Heroes journey, and then at the end try and go ahead and get these guys to 7 stars as fast as possible to complete the last few tiers of this particular event. But when the math comes out, I don't think there's enough time to farm over, what is that, almost 300 shards of all these characters combined by the time the event comes around. I'm not sure. It's not looking too bright here. I wonder, can I get a shard of Chewbacca right now? There we go. Look at that. We're making progress here. There we go. So we just bumped this guy up to 4 stars. So we still got a long way to go. We got to get 65 shards and 85 shards. And then lastly, we got to get 100 shards for Chewbacca alone. So still, it's not looking all that bright here. So what I want to show you guys is just to kind of give you a picture of what this actual lineup's going to look like for this Raise Heroes journey. And here's your beautiful cast that we are going to need for Raise Heroes journey. And for most people, it's going to come down to not having veteran Han Solo and veteran Chewbacca. This event is starting to be formed more like a pay-to-play event. At this point, it kind of seems like that. We just got the vets not too long ago free to play. They're on the hardest Cantina node out there. It's not like they're in Galactic War and Arena where you can easily farm them really quickly in 2-3 weeks or whatever when they're free to play. Here, it's a completely different story, and it looks like a lot of people might not be able to participate in this event because the Raise Heroes journey is in about 9 days or so, and usually a hero's journey runs for 7 days after that. So we're looking at about a 16-day period from today that we have to make sure we get all these requirements knocked out. Now, the Commander Luke Skywalker event, I've argued that that was a free-to-play event. The only reason why you didn't get that event the first time around is because you didn't feel like farming Old Ben, you didn't feel like farming Princess Leia, Stormtrooper Han. Those characters were free-to-play for the longest time, and R2-D2 was the only hardest requirement. But even then, to get R2-D2, we had a lot of Empire characters to choose from to complete the R2-D2 event, versus here, for the BB-8 event, we only have 5 free-to-play First Order characters, and we have 2 brand new pay-to-play characters, and First Order Stormtrooper is not an easy free-to-play farm. Only other reason you may not have gotten Commander Luke Skywalker the first time around was because of the fact that you are maybe a newer player, and you didn't really have a reason to farm Old Ben, Stormtrooper Han, versus someone like me. When I've been playing the game for 2 years, Stormtrooper Han and Old Ben were the meta at one point, and a lot of people farmed them. But so I can understand newer players not getting Commander Luke Skywalker the first time around, but at least they were free to play for many, many months prior to that. So you had a lot of opportunities to farm them, versus here, when the vets became free to play, they were on a very difficult node, and it takes at least a month or so to farm one of these guys to 7 stars all the way. So this first round of Raise Heroes journey is starting to feel a little bit like a pay-to-play event. And I've already come to the realization I'm probably not going to get her the first time around. And I bet her event's probably not going to reoccur until 5 or 4 or 6 months later after this December. And the hardest part of it all is that Rey is probably going to be some insanely crazy character. And we're going to have to just live with the fact that maybe we're not going to have her for a while. I'm going to keep trying my best and farm these characters, and I want to show you a little fun calculator to tell you if you should panic or not. Okay, so I showed this link in a previous video I did with Mobile Gamer. I'm going to leave this down below in the video description if you want to go and check it out yourself and see what your situation is. So let's go ahead and type in my situation. So we just got Chewbacca to 4 stars today. We got 0 shards there, and we got Veteran Han Solo to 6 stars and 0 shards right there out of 100. And let's see, the event starts in what, 9 days. So we have 9 days to farm all these characters before the event starts. Now let's see, should we panic or not? Let's go and find out.
Can you cry in space?
Yeah, it's not looking good here. So I still need 250 shards for Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca. I need 100 shards for Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. So in total, I need 350 shards that I need to farm in the next 16 days, which is when the event's most likely going to end. So that means I need to farm 23.4 shards per day in order to make the cut. And to get 23 shards a day of all these characters, it's the only way you're going to do this unless you drop big crystals on energy refreshes or you get them out of daily shipments, which either of those I can't do. But I do try to do 3 Cantina refreshes a day like it recommends, but I can't purchase 4 shipments of these shards a day of the daily shipment. So I'm gonna need in total 23,700 crystals in order to meet this requirement, and most likely that's not gonna happen from me. But I'm gonna keep trying my best. I'm gonna keep doing my 3 Cantina refreshes a day, put other stuff on hold, try to farm these characters as fast as possible. Maybe I'll have some great RNG, great luck, but it doesn't look like it. We have 20,998 minutes left to get this done. That's almost like a crystal per minute, people. Come on, we gotta get down to business here. But yeah, pretty much if I had to go right now and get all the crystals needed and trying to meet what this thing is recommending, that's gonna easily be about, I don't know, that's about $150, 23,000 crystals to make this happen, to get those vets. That's going to be $150, but we've kind of been familiar with this game. It's a mobile game. It's a free-to-play mobile game, and obviously people who invested heavily in the vets earlier on, they're rewarded for their investment to go and get raid this first time around. It's part of the game. It's part of the system. I'm aware of it. I'm familiar with it, and at this point, you kind of get comfortable with how this game works, so it's nothing too surprising, but as long as I have my Imperial Probe droid, I'm going to do my best to try to blow up Rey at the very beginning. And on that bombshell, we're going to end the video on that note. Be sure to subscribe because there's a high probability I will be getting footage of the Jedi training version of Rey to showcase her, show what she's like, so be sure to subscribe and you're not missing that. And also let me know down below, are you in panic farming mode like I am? What are your chances of getting her? I want to know. Let's get a nice little bond circle going on her, kind of express our feelings, and we'll talk more from there, guys. So thank you for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and as always